Welcome, and thank you for viewing the Westchester County Youth Bureau's 2023 Invest in Kids Request for Proposals informational video. The mission of the Westchester County Youth Bureau is to ensure equity and access to formal and informal services, supports, and opportunities for children, youth, and families to thrive. The Bureau's equity lens is consistent with Westchester County's efforts to create equitable gains across race, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, gender identity, class, and economic backgrounds. The Bureau invites eligible nonprofit community-based organizations and youth bureaus to respond to the Invest in Kids program request for proposals. Organizations interested in responding to the IIK RFP must submit their proposals in accordance with all applicable laws, county regulations, and timelines. Eligible proposers are nonprofit organizations, faith-based organizations, and municipal youth bureaus. For background information regarding the Invest in Kids program, please refer to page 2 of the RFP. The Bureau is requesting proposals from qualified community-based organizations, including nonprofit organizations, faith-based organizations, and municipal youth bureaus that will be contracted to provide innovative, positive youth development services, opportunities, and supports for at-risk youth ages 21 and under. The proposers must demonstrate the following: the physical, economic, social, financial, institutional, and/or other problems impacting Westchester County's youth that require a solution. Reasonable costs that are proportionate to the services proposed. The ability to maximize natural supports within the community and leverage outside opportunities where appropriate. Deliver offerings that are youth-centered and responsive to both youth's needs and interests. Ensure a trauma-informed workforce that will deliver services to the targeted populations. Agreement to collect and analyze data to assist the Bureau in demonstrating the program's effectiveness. And the ability to fill a service gap that the Bureau deems necessary based on its annual needs assessment. The Youth Bureau's vision is to prepare children and youth for self-sufficiency, social and emotional well-being, good citizenship, and make resources accessible to youth, particularly those at risk, and their families. For the purpose of the IIK program, we have provided some examples here of at-risk youth populations that are prioritized for services. With reasonable justification, proposers may target youth in their proposals who do not resemble those listed. For more information on populations to be served, refer to page 4 of the RFP. Proposers may apply for up to $50,000 per service program per year. IIK program funds may be used for 65% of the program costs for approved proposals. There is a 35% required proposer cash match. If applying for the max amount of $50,000, the match would be $26,923 for a total contract amount of $76,923. Contracts from this RFP will be for a term of up to 36 months, beginning on or about January 1st, 2023, and ending on or about December 31st, 2025. Awardees will be required to collect data, utilize quality assessment tools, accommodate site visits, and submit reports to the Bureau. The RFP cites resources for context and quality assessment tools. These are not exhaustive, but may be helpful. Please refer to Section 4 of the RFP for more information. Now we will discuss the elements of the RFP. The Schedule A is comprised of Forms 5001, 5002, and 5003. Although the RFP itself is a PDF, a link to the fillable version of the Schedule A can be found on the Youth Bureau website. The cover sheet, located on page 21 of the RFP, asks for information pertaining to the organization and the funding requested. Please complete all the fields and sign at the bottom of the page where indicated. The program narrative, located on pages 22 and 23 of the RFP, is comprised of 6 parts. The program summary is not scored, but must still be included. The program needs section is worth 10 points. The organizational capacity section is worth 20 points. The program design section is worth 28 points. The monitoring and quality improvement section is worth 15 points. The outcomes and evaluation section is worth 12 points. When completing the program narrative, refer to the instructions for guidelines. Narrative responses cannot exceed 12 pages. The activity plan, located on page 24 of the RFP, is not part of the program narrative and is not included in the 12-page narrative limit. It provides details on up to 4 main proposed program activities. Although the activity plan is not scored, it must be completed. Failure to complete will result in disqualification. The program logistics summary, located on page 25 of the RFP, asks for details pertaining to proposed program sites. Please provide as much information as possible. The form allows for up to 4 different sites to be included. Although the program logistics summary is not scored, it must be completed. The Touchstones form, located on page 26 of the RFP, is not scored but must be completed. Proposers must refer to the coding document found on pages 29 to 37 of the RFP and select one code for each of the following items: life area, goal, objective, service opportunity and supports, how much, how well, and better off. The codes and respective descriptions must be entered into the Touchstones form where indicated. Instructions and an example can be found on pages 27 and 28 of the RFP. This concludes the Schedule A portion of the RFP. We will now review the Schedule B portion. The contract award period is up to 3 years. The annual contract budget will be equal to the first-year proposal. Changes for years 2 and 3 will require a budget modification. The maximum county award amount is $50,000. Proposers can request less than the maximum amount depending on their ability to achieve the 35% cash match target. The maximum score for the budget section is 15 points. Remember to submit a budget narrative. A budget narrative describes the relationship between program activities and expenditures. If the proposer fails to submit a budget narrative, this will significantly impact the final budget score. The total of salaries and fringe benefits must be 51% or greater than the proposer's total request. Proposals less than 51% will be disqualified and not reviewed. This requirement is to ensure the proposer organizations do not serve as a pass-through. The budget template includes protected cells. Proposers cannot change the protected cells. Proposers can enter numerical data, and the spreadsheet will calculate the budget-related amounts. Fringe benefit costs are capped at 25%. Please note that proposers cannot include employee-related insurance costs in the OTPS section. As a reminder, the Youth Bureau encourages proposers to include as much detail as possible. This will demonstrate the proposer's ability to execute on the requested amounts and activities included in Schedule A. We have now covered Schedule A and Schedule B. No more than 3 IIK application submissions will be accepted. Please be advised that the following documents are also required for the application to be considered: the signed cover letter, the signed proposer certification, the signed and notarized certificate of authority, the signed and notarized acknowledgement, the articles of incorporation, and the most recent audit. All requests for clarification of this RFP must be submitted in writing no later than 5 p.m. on August 12, 2022 by email to wcybrfp@westchestergov.com with the subject line Invest in Kids 2023 to 2025. Formal written responses will be posted on the Bureau website on or before August 19, 2022 at www.westchestergov.com/youthbureau. Proposals are due to the Westchester County Youth Bureau by 3 p.m. on September 16, 2022. Late proposals will not be accepted. Thank you.